Hey guys, you've been asking for a Master Yi guide for a really long time, so let's get into it. First of all, here are the runes that you want to use. Actually, I'm using these runes in this game. You may be wondering, Cowsep, why do I bring Lethal Tempo over Hail of Blades? I'll talk about it. Here's the other set of runes that you can use, which includes Hail of Blades, so you can see both of the runes. We're going to be playing some EU West in the background here. It's about Platinum Elo, so you guys have something to look at. My ping's a little high, so don't judge me. Next of all, we need to discuss the item builds for Master Yi. Yes, I'm trying to get everything out of the way as quick as possible to make you all happy. So for the item builds on Master Yi, a typical build with Lethal Tempo would look like this. A Kraken Slayer as your default item with some Blade of the Rune King to boot. Hang on, we're going to go for a nice early gank. This is a great way to climb as Master Yi, by the way. It's worth it. It's worth it. Right there, it's 100% worth it. I know Kaisa got the red buff. No big deal. Now, you may be wondering, Cowsep, why do you get the Kraken before Blade and Rune King? Or when do you get Blade and Rune King before you get Kraken, okay? So, the way that usually happens is it depends on how fed you are and what items you're starting with. So, you always want to start with the Noon Quiver when you're playing Master Yi. Just trust me on this. It just does the most damage, has the best clear. Uh-oh, why do I have a Kassadin top? Is this how EUS players play here? Oh, he did. I wonder if I can catch Twitch coming down. Oh, he's full backing there. Maybe I can grab me Annie or something. A little bit. There's a lot of ganks here. I can stop his back. I'm going to push him out. I'm going to go ahead and back off. So typically you want to do a full clear, and I didn't do a full clear this game because I am ganking a lot. But in my opinion, the ganking is how you really get yourself ahead, right? Now, let's talk a little bit about the Blade of Rune King versus Kraken, because that, in my opinion, is the most important thing. So typically, I'll go for a Noon Quiver into a pickaxe, and then if I can afford a Blade of the Rune King on my next back, I'll buy Blade of the Rune King. If not, I will get the Kraken, right? It's really, really simple. So in the majority of my games, I usually grab me a Kraken just because it's the easiest to buy. However, I would prefer a Blade of the Rune King. So anytime I can grab that, I will. Full items are always better than not having full items. Next of all, skill level up. So I typically go Q, E, Q, W. Sometimes I go Q, E, W. If I'm going to gank early, I'll get that Meditate at level 3. So in this game, maybe I should have went Meditate level 3. But honestly, the Q is just so powerful for clearing. And we actually did a test on my stream where we tried to figure out which ability was best to max, Q or E. And it turns out that Q only does 100 less single target damage than E at level 9, while giving you an insane amount of clear and also the AoE on multiple targets. So Q is without a doubt the way to go if you're looking for which skill you want to level. Don't level E. You could go 3 points in Q and then get into E there. Okay, so now we got our W, so we're looking at more ganks here. Now, what do we get after we finish Blade of the Rune King or Kraken? Well, then you want to go ahead and grab whatever item is after the Blade of the Rune King or the Kraken, right? So if you bought Blade of the Rune King, you get Kraken. If you bought Kraken, you get Blade of the Rune King. Then, you want to pick up a Gunzu's Rage Blade, typically, or a Wits End if they're all AP, or a Death Dance if they're all AD. Let's go ahead and get this little gank here. Nice little Meditate reset. And a lot of people don't know this. I don't know how, but W is actually a Meditate reset. So if you use your W at an auto reset, so like this, right? Even with high ping, I have 150 ping. Even with high ping, you can still do it. I am so dead, but you know what? I'm going deep. I'm going real deep. Well, you know, we did try. Ooh, he's really close. I mean, honestly, guys, if you don't get kills, you are not getting as much gold as you possibly could, right? So I'm all about these early skirmishes. So here we go. You can now see me grabbing Noon Quiver. And so this is a really interesting point where you have to decide what you're going to get with 739 gold, right? I'm glad I have this because I got to show you. You can buy boots and a dagger. Or you could just buy a dagger and grab a pink ward, usually, to defend your jungle. It depends on the elo. I like to buy a pink ward. The higher the elo, the more I want to buy a pink ward. So the idea here is that you can pivot this dagger into either Berserker Greaves, or you can pivot it into the Blade of the Rune King, the recurve bow, right? And that's why this is such a solid pickup. And Noon Quiver will just increase that clear speed tenfold. Dragons are very important, but my clear is going to be happening in the top side, so I'm going to do it down. So now that you know the first 4 items in a standard build, what do you get next? So usually you want to get a Guardian Angel or a Maul Malmortius or a Wits End, assuming you didn't get a Wits End, or a Death Dance, assuming that you didn't get a Death Dance, right? My typical build looks about like this. So you go Kraken, Blade of the Rune King, Gunzu's Rage Blade, Death Dance into like a Wits End. Oh, he still had... What is this Twitch doing here, bro? Okay, wait. Cassidy died. What did Cassidy die? XD? Yeah, XD to you too, bro. So now I can drop my pot and grab me a dagger. You can see how I'm trying to pivot myself towards either item, right? We don't know if we're going to be going for the Kraken yet or the Blade and Rune King yet. But next up will be... How did you... You know, Annie, I'm wondering the same thing. But next up, we can grab ourselves... Before getting recurve bow, I always like to grab myself a pickaxe. But if I only have 400 gold on back, then we can grab the recurve bow. And then at that point, we're going for Blade of Rune King first. We're pretty much solidified, right? Just going to grab this. Like, if you can't afford that early pickaxe, then you just have to go for Blade of Rune King because that thing builds out of way easier items. We are going to try to get this early dragon. One big mistake I do is I never sweep. Let's go and grab this. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and get this dragon. You can use 2 smites if you don't already have Noon Quiver. I have Noon Quiver, so I'm going to save my smite because it'll die too fast. Now, let's discuss the Halo Blades build, my friends. So Halo Blades is a build that I was using quite a lot with Duskblade, and I was using it when I first went back to the Korea server recently. I'm doing a Korean climb lately, if you guys don't know. And I lost, like, all my games. Like, it was really bad. But, if you want to try it, it's a decent build. And, you know, it's a completely different playstyle. Okay? So here's the build if you want to be running for a... You know, I'm just going to flash on him. Does he have flash? Dude, my alpha did not go off. My alpha did not go off. Oh, he's long gone. Okay, so here's the build. It's a Duskblade, Blade of the Rune King. Cassidy looks very... Why are you mad about Blade of Steel Caps? Into a... Now, at that point, you want to go for a Death Dance or a Guardian Angel. And then you want to get whatever you didn't get. And if you want pure damage, you have to get Gunzus. Okay, it's a little confusing. So, pure damage, Duskblade, Blade of Rune King, Gunzus. Normal high elo build, Duskblade, Blade of the Rune King, Stopwatch into Guardian Angel, into Death Dance. Pretty simple. All right? And those are your 2 different builds. Yeah, pretty simple. I personally don't think the Duskblade build is as good as Kraken. Just go Kraken if you really want to know what to build. If you want to have some fun, Duskblade's a lot of fun. And pretty much anytime you're against any tanks like Asante, Zac, etc., you can't go Duskblade, guys. You can't. You have to go Kraken for any kind of tanky builds. But if they're squishy, like looking at this enemy team, I could go Duskblade this game. If I wanted to, I could go Duskblade because they're pretty weak. And Duskblade's more for pivoting and outplaying. But that leaves one more build that everybody's wondering about, which is the Tank Master Yi build with Jak'sho. Okay, now you see, guys, the reason why Tank Yi worked so well before is because Sunfire Cape actually gave damage, right? Like some decent on-hit damage. And it just, like, Jak'sho just doesn't give that to you, right? Also, you may notice that I could have backed with 400 gold and went back and bought, but I decided to keep farming because I want to get that pickaxe. I'm going to go for this. So I'm maxing Q, as you can see. The Q is the good max. I know it's pretty stereotypical, but honestly, even I didn't know what skill to max until just a few days ago when I tested it in practice tool. Oh yeah, level 2 meditate is actually amazing as well. You could always pick up a level 2 meditate. Also, Rift Herald has a bug. If you hit Rift Herald Eye with your Alpha Strike, the Rift Herald will open its eye more quickly, and it has nothing to do with your auto attack. So if you don't know, the more auto attacks you do, the faster Rift Herald opens its eye. But it doesn't open its eye because the Alpha counts as an auto attack. It just opens its eye because it's bugged. Hey, Soraka, what you doing? Oh my god, I misclicked. I misclicked, guys. Okay, we blame lag on that. Okay, we blame the 140 ping on that one. Okay, guys. Okay, so now we're at yet another sticky situation where we're about 100 gold short of getting our Kraken. So you may be like, what do I do? I'm glad that these situations are happening because these are the hard parts where you really got to think about, Cowsep, what do I do in this situation? So in this case, what I would typically do, I'd drop a dagger and I'd finish the Kraken. And it's whatever. It's whatever. Like, getting the power spike with the Kraken is worth more than running out here to grab Krugs or whatever and then back and then do the thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this Kraken. We're going to be aggressive and try and take that bot tower, right? And that way we don't have to back or anything like that. Look at this Twitch. Look at him. Oh, she ain't going to be happy about that, but I am. 800 dinero roonies. All right, now I'm going to have to take a second to ask my chat what they want to know about Master Yi so I can share it to you guys. Guys, what did I miss out on? Summoner spells are Flash and Smite, of course. Anything else? Heartsteel. Heartsteel, you don't go Heartsteel. So you can go like Jak'sho. So let me explain the tank build. Like Jak'sho, Blade of the Rune King, Gunzu's Rage Blade, Death Dance, right? I mean, the only tanky part about that is Jak'sho, honestly. Okay, Kazan, all you, homie. I mean, dude, he got the kill. He really wanted it, so he got it. So it's like any other build, but you just build Jak'sho instead of a... Oh, my God. I forgot they had a Twitch, guys. Okay. Now, there's also another build that I didn't explain, and this build happens when you have about 2,600 gold. You actually skip the Blade of the Rune King, assuming that they don't have, like, 3 tanks, okay? If they have, like, 1 tank, it's okay. 2 tanks is it. I will sell my boots, and I will grab me a Gunzu's Rage Blade. It's worth it. Just trust me. Like, people are like, Cowsep, you're selling all your items. You're wasting so much gold. The whole reason I just picked up those 2 kills in mid lane is because I had a Kraken instead of components of a Kraken. Yes or yes? Yes. Okay? And now it'll be the same with the Gunzu's Rage Blade and the Kraken. Like, you get insane synergy. Never buy Gunzu's first. Never buy Gunzu's first. Big counters for Yi. So my favorite things to ban... right now, I have been banning Zac and Rammus, mostly Rammus. I know it's funny because, like, I've always said Rammus isn't a problem for Yi. But, like, with the addition of Jak'sho, Rammus is definitely a problem for Yi. All right, I'm just going to drop this. I was trying to go for that gank, but I'm just going to drop this now. Yeah, so Jak'sho made Rammus a problem for Yi now. So Rammus is my ban. And you have to kind of look at what champions are popular and what champions aren't popular. So right now, Rammus is actually popular enough to warrant a ban. Look how fast we clear this with Gunzu, by the way. Oh, it's so delicious. Lee Sin is not hard to play against anymore. He used to be. No more. All right. So at this point, I have 4 in queue. Where is Switch? Well, you know, I did not do as much damage as I had hoped, but now we can begin working on our Berserker Greaves or our Blade of the Rune King. Unfortunately, that flash did not get me where I needed to go. He's pretty fed, though. He has 8 kills. I was trying to hide in the bush and maybe pop off a bit, but my lethal tempo didn't get me going. It's okay to make mistakes. You can see we're 15 and 19, by the way, guys. This isn't a stomp, but you can see I have all dragons secured. This is normal. Like, even when you're playing in high elo, like, Yi almost always has the first 2 dragons secured. After that, it is kind of questionable whether or not you can continue to secure dragons because usually your team starts to let you down a bit. But you should definitely try to get the first 2 dragons if you can. Yi kills dragons just like they do. Just better than any other champion here. All right, we need more attack speed. So I'm going to be getting... I'm going to avoid the tenacity. If they had more CC, I would pick up more tenacity in my runes. But they don't. So I don't need that. Why does Gunzu's Rage Blade work so well with Yi? Yeah, so a lot of people also wonder about Gunzu's Rage Blade on Master Yi. It's not the crit. So, like, a lot of people think Gunzu's is a waste without the crit, but actually Master Yi is the best user of Phantom Hit in the game. Or what do they call it now? I don't even know what they call it. Seething Strike. Master Yi is the best Seething Strike user in the game, other than maybe Vayne. But, like, it's basically the same thing, right? Soraka, no flash. It's basically the same thing. And that's because his double strike gets applied more often. His Q goes on cooldown, goes off cooldown faster. His E gets applied more often. His Blade of the Rune King gets applied more often. I couldn't get my alpha up, but we did try. We started to pop a bit. So I'm going to go for Blade and Rune King as my next item. You can get the pickaxe, but I actually, when I play on higher ping like this, I like to get more attack speed. So you're going to be seeing me pick up the Berserker Greaves here. But you can, of course, change out the boots for, you know, obviously play the steel caps against heavy AD, like Graves, right? Against Graves, I like to pick up play steel caps or Viego, Rek'Sai, Udyr, right? But typically, I'll pick up the Berserker Greaves early, and then I'll sell them for a different pair of boots later in the game. right? That way I can get that early attack speed spike, and then I can also use that as a gold sink later. Because think about it this way. If you sell a dagger, you get 220 gold back out of 300. You basically just paid 800 gold for a temporary loan of 12% attack speed. That's not bad. And plus, you can maybe build it into something later. That's why I sell my items so much. What about a full crate Yi build? Oh, yes. So, you don't play full crate Yi. We don't talk about full crate Yi here. But if you really want to play full crate Yi, here's the build. Okay? So, you want to go for a Kraken into a, I guess, Phantom Dancer, I guess. I say I guess because it's tough, right? It's a bad build. Into, like, an Infinity Edge, maybe. Into, like, an Ezent Reaver. Bro, honestly, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't bother at all. And what about the new Ravenous Hydra? I wouldn't do that either. Ravenous Hydra is no good either. Especially after Ravenous Hydra got a recent nerf. Oh, yes. What jungle pet do you guys want? So, jungle pet, you want to get the green, always. 95% of the time, get the green one. The shield is great. The tenacity is great. So, if they hit you while you have your shield on, you get 20% tenacity. Oh, Jesus, I'm dead. I was, like, kind of not really paying attention to him there. My bad. I kind of forgot they had a Twitch. Like, I saw everybody fighting over here, and I forgot they had a Twitch. So, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm safe. Okay, looks like he's going to get away. I'm going to secure this next dragon. Well, typically, by the way, Rift Herald is fantastic to grab because you get 300 gold plus plates. Yeah, don't do Yi crit. Just don't. Like, Blade of Ranking is so overpowered. Yeah, Rage Blade applies so many things that Rage Blade as an item is worth it, but only after you get Kraken or Blade of Ranking. You can go Blade of Ranking Gunzus as well if you want. But, like, you don't want to go Gunzus by itself. You need at least one other steroid item to get it going. By the way, you don't want to fight too often when your ulti's not up. Oh, yeah, and you want to also use your Meditate anytime you're clearing the jungle, my friends. Oh, Rammus is going hard. I'm waiting for this Twitch to roll up on me. There we go. All right, that'll secure us the dragon here. Remember, and even when your team's like chasing after people, man, just go do dragon. I have ulti up in 5. Be careful for Twitch. Usually, I don't like to go to these objectives by myself if I can resist it. He's going to be over here. All right. Like, it was really obvious where he was going, so don't feel like getting popped by Twitch again, no sir. Okay, so we're still behind in kills, but you can see that I am carrying this game. Doesn't matter if I last hit that. We have enough for Blade of Ranking. I'll go back for it, even with the camps. And this is actually when you can solo Baron. So a lot of people wonder when you can solo Baron. You can do it now. So, like, I'll just grab a cloth armor for my Death Stance. We'll grab a pink ward. At this point, you can solo Baron. You need 3 items. Kraken, Blade of Ranking, Gunju's Rage Blade. That's all you need. You could also swap out the Gunju's with, like, a Wits End, I guess. Gunju's is the best way to do it, though. And, yeah, I don't know what's going on up here. I can't help him. I don't have ulti. Okay, fantastic. Yes, and please make sure to use your sweeper often. I often lose with my sweepers, man. Like, I don't use my sweeper and then I lose. Okay, so I'm just going to drop this in here. So they know I'm in here, right? So we're not going to try to solo Baron. I got to go show myself first, right? Dude, they're hitting the Baron thinking I'm in it, but I'm not. Now I could do it, now that I've showed myself. But we don't know where their teammates are, right? So we can't until their teammates show themselves. Which they will. Oh, there's a Twitch. He's sweeping the ward. You can see the ward is seen. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, good engage, guys. Good engage. Oh, Casson is going to die. Oh, he went back in. Okay, secure it, guys. Secure it. Ooh, that's an ace right there. Yeah, anytime you can flash on those Sorakas, do it. All right, let me see. I'm going to ask my chat if there's anything else you guys need help with. What else do you guys need help with? So let's just look at some of the items here and just see what items I would like versus not like. So, no, No. Yes, very often. Full AP teams, I will get this or Wits End or both. Usually whichever one's most affordable or what kind of burst damage. Very good against Rammus. No. Yes, very good as a last item or Duskblade. Very rarely. Yes, quite often against full AP comps when I need damage. Very, very rarely, but probably not. Very, very rarely, probably not. No. Yes, every game. Yes, pretty common, almost every game. I'm going to go ahead and buy the components of this. Let me go into here. Titanic Hydra, I buy this quite often as like a 6 item when I need HP. New Spear or Shojin, no. Don't do it. It doesn't work on E or anything. And then Ravenous Hydra, don't do that either. Alright? How do you fight if your team is super behind? You don't. You lose. So I know that's not the answer you want to hear, but League of Legends is about trying to get as ahead of early as possible, right? So if you're not putting your team ahead early, you shouldn't expect to win later, right? You do your bet. Like, you can win. Like, don't get me wrong. You can win, right? If the enemy throws or misplays, you can win. But you shouldn't expect to win those. You should always try to put yourself as far ahead as possible. Right? You put yourself ahead. Man, I am just getting smashed. Is Twitch doing magic? I don't even know. Yeah, but like, it's all about that early game. You try to get that early game as going as possible, and you do it. Like this game, you saw this game, we were losing, right? But I was constantly pushing for as many advantages as possible, right? That's just how you do it. If you're losing, it's really hard to come back. And that's why the dragons early are so important, because when you get to that late game and the enemy has 3 dragons, you have to contest the soul. And if you contest the soul, that means that it puts you in a situation you don't want to be in, right? You don't want to have to be forced to contest a soul. So anytime you can get those early souls, you should do it. All right. Next up in the marksman category. No. No. Maybe if you go crit, but otherwise no. Honestly, I never get anti-heal on Yi. I don't think anti-heal is that good. By the way, I'm waiting for death snaps. I don't think anti-heal is that great because, like, you just kill them anyway. Even against Raka, I'm not buying it. Storm Razor, no. Essence, no. But maybe with crit. Not even with crit. No. We already talked about this. Maybe with crit. I don't even build this with lethality anymore. Then we have the Quicksilver. So if I have to grab a Quicksilver for Malzahar or Warwick, those are literally them and maybe Rammus. Those are the only people I buy Quicksilver against. I'll usually upgrade it into this just because, you know, it's a slot. Otherwise, I don't touch it. I'll get this against really, really, really tanky teams, but very, very rarely. We talked about Guardian Angel. That's good. No. Crit build. No. And no. Like, too many people are into Bloodthirster. They think it's really good to heal. If you really want healing, get Ravenous, right? Assassin items. No. I wouldn't get this either unless they had a crap ton of shields. No, no. I wouldn't really get this either. No, 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 no. No, 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 and no. There you go. But Duskblade's still pretty good. For Mythics. So let's look at the Mythics here. Prowlers sounds like it'd be a lot of fun, but obviously Prowlers isn't something that you buy too much. Same for Eclipse. I think when it comes to legendaries and the Duskblade or in the Assassin tab, you just want to get Duskblade. You could maybe get Eclipse, but I wouldn't do it. This one, Shieldbow versus Kraken. A lot of people wonder about Shieldbow versus Kraken. So, I don't think Shieldbow's the greatest pick unless you're like against super bursty stuff. But even so, I mean, the thing is when you go Shieldbow, you can't buy the Maul Malmortius, right? There you go. Nice, easy Baron. You can't buy Maul Malmortius with that. So I wouldn't do that either. Fighter. Yeah, none of those. Maybe Eclipse. And here, you only want Jak'sho. Jak'sho is the only thing that you're going to want from that particular page. Right there. Any other viable summoner spells? You could run Ghost or Ignite. I think Flash is too good. Flash lets you engage on fights and do amazing kills. Right? So I think that, like, Flash is just, in my opinion, 100% what you want. I can see people experimenting with other things, but you just get Flash. Cowsep has a huge... Yeah, this Annie knows exactly what's going on here. Yeah, all right, I was sitting here. Any other questions? No GA? Yeah, you get GA as the last item or a third item if you're playing lethality. Blade of Ruin King every game. Always, always. Blade of Ruin King is your first or second item every single game. Any other questions? How do we know where the enemy jungler is? Lots of practice, lots of patience, and sometimes you will never truly know where the enemy jungler always is. I don't really track the enemy jungler too much, but it's a very handy skill to have. I do really recommend it. Just try to get a feel for enemy junglers typically go. Exhaust. I mean, I can see exhaust for like an early game. I'm going to kind of hide around up here. What do you do when you're being invaded early? So typically you want to prevent yourself from being invaded at all by starting on like an opposite buff, right? You want to go into like if I see somebody over here, I'll go to this side, right? And I'll just leave all this farm go. And then I'll try to like farm their jungle or get a gank. And if you don't get a gank, well, you're in trouble, right? Like, what do you do? Right? You're in trouble at that point. Okay, so now the last item in this build here. Oh. You probably want a Guardian Angel. But I might get a Wits. All right. Well, we went pretty hard. So, like, I could get a Wits for Annie. Like, take a look at the damage you're taking. It's almost all fizz, right? A Guardian Angel would be fantastic. If you want HP, you can go for the Titanic Hydra here. I mean, really, your options are just whatever you want. I personally like to do a lot of damage, especially when I have low ping. I'm playing on higher ping right now, so I would probably opt for a more tanky build. But if I was playing on, like, let's say, a server where I had, like, 50 ping or lower, at this point, I would go ahead and I would grab me a Wits in here. It works really well against Annie. And actually, since I just got a kill, I'll get this here. I'll get, like, a Titanic Hydra. Gameplay's a little mad, bro. Right? Titanic Hydra will make me very tanky, and it also synergizes great with Gunju's Rage Blade. My EUS team's yelling at each other. You love to see it. Okay, my team's diving the fountain. They don't want to end the game here. No, sir. Which dragons would you prioritize giving up? I'll take them all. I don't give up dragons based on what I don't care about the dragon stats. I just take all dragons. What about Xerath jungle? No. My hardest matchup after Rammus? Basically stealth champions in general are very hard to deal with. Okay, he just missed. Ooh, that was damage. Yeah, stealth champions and Zhonya's in general are very difficult to deal with. That's why you want to try to end a game early. Yi isn't super late game oriented as he used to be. You have to try and end the game early, right? What do you do if your teammate takes all your camps? You take their lane. Like, if you get to the point where they're taking all your camps late game, you're kind of screwed anyway. Right? Like, if you can't pick up no farm. I have to kill Twitch first. That guy hurts. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I just gotta find Twitch, dude. I just gotta find Twitch. Where is he? Oh, no. Yeah, you remember when I said Zhonya's counters you really hard? Yeah, you should always hit tab and check for Zhonya's. I'm glad I just got to show you guys that, because that right there, that's going to be a lesson, especially if you're a new Yi main. That's a lesson you're going to be learning the hard way. And never die before Elder Dragon. Let's fight for Elder. Because we could actually lose this if we lose the Elder Dragon, and I shouldn't have thrown there. But, you know, I was trying to show you guys that Zhonya's really counters Yi really hard. All right, anything else? Anything else? Yo, guys, any other questions you want to ask so the YouTuber people can get it? Why I hate Lee Sin so much? I don't actually hate Lee Sin anymore. He's not a problem. This is EUS server, not NA, no. I talked about the hardest matchup. It's just Zhonya's and Stealth. Like, maybe Vayne, right? Like, I don't really struggle against any jungle matchups. Zack's annoying. Vayne's annoying. Akali's annoying. Kha'Zix is annoying. But, I mean, Kha'Zix is doable, right? Okay, Yone doesn't believe here. What do you do if your team won't help with enemy invade? You go to the other side of the jungle. If he gets banned, any recommended champions that are similar? I play Malphite. Not very similar, but, you know, it's kind of fun to get away from the monotony there. Nocturne's pretty good. Nocturne, Jax. Okay, so we're just going to secure the dragon. Remember, play it safe, get the dragon. They have all inhibitors down. Right? That's huge for us. Now I can go throw myself in and get a 1v5 penta. So I'm just going to go do that. My team isn't going to like this, but... I mean, dude, Annie has no Zhonya's, you know? Bel'Veth is pretty similar, but I don't like Bel'Veth's ulti, so I don't even enjoy Bel'Veth. Okay. Dude, wait. He was under the threshold. Bro. Ow. That guy hurts. I'm going to tell you guys something here. I just threw. And you don't want to do this. I'm trying to show off and get a 1v5 pentakill for you guys, okay? I wouldn't normally do this. I would go do Baron. I would do the safe gameplay. You know, I do the safe gameplay like Rammus is recommending, but I want to get you guys a pentakill. Any 2 champ combos you want to dodge? I would dodge an enemy team that just, like, has the most disgusting combo ever. Like, if you really want to win, and they're playing, like, Zac, Rammus, Vayne, right? I would dodge that. I would just dodge. I wouldn't deal with it. How do you deal with teammates who want to gank constantly? So if your teammate wants ganks, I usually mute them unless I predict that they're going to tilt. Like, if they're going to tilt really hard, then I'll kind of show myself there. But you never want to force a gank that's going to fail. All right, let's go get the Penta with our team. Okay, Yone's doing what I'm doing. He's throwing. Set is pretty annoying as well, yes. I don't really struggle against Kayn. Under the threshold, but no tick. Feels bad, man. All right. Yone's dead. Oh, I hear the Zanya's going off, baby. All right. So I had 19 kills. I kind of threw a lot. I did it on purpose, though, okay? I did it on purpose. All right, there we go. And that's a conclusion to the guide. Leave your questions in the comments. I won't answer any of them. I hope I didn't forget anything, but chat's been asking me questions, so I think I got them all. I think I got everything you needed. Opinion on Starags? No bueno. So, yes, make sure you check out all my videos and stuff because I do Master Yi stuff all the time. And, yeah, check out this one. This guide's still relevant. It's from before this season. It's pretty much still relevant. None of the items change or anything. A nice beginner's guide for Master Yi if you're a beginner at Yi and you need that as well.